history. Game dev? You want me to do game dev? Shall we make the clicker game? Do I actually have the tools? Clicking bad. We're going to make clicking bad, but even worse. What is foot? I've got a program on my computer called foot. It should be under development. For some reason I don't have Godot installed at all, which is really odd. Let's get it installed, I suppose. Godot. I don't really want it from the site. I want it through apt probably. Godot. And knowing Debian, it'll probably be a really ancient version of Godot that's available. There's something you can get which installs multiple types of Godot, so. You don't like Godot 4, do you? Well, it's fine because the one that comes with Debian is Godot 3. Let's just see then. Version 3.5.2 is the one. Oh, I've already got it. What? Where is it then? Godot engine. Why is it not in development? You'd think that'd be where it is. It's not in games. It's not in graphics. It's not in internet. It's not in multimedia. It's not in Office. Why would it be? Science or system or utility? Is it in utilities? No. It is not in my apps list. Why? Actually, you know what we could do? Instead of starting a brand new game right now, although that is deeply tempting, we could try and continue on my quiz game that I kind of did and then didn't get very far with. Because I would like to finish that. I've started making it, partly for the YouTube channel and partly for my dad, who likes quiz games. And I thought it would be fun to make him something that he can play. And I can occasionally update with new quiz stuff. Not that I'm much of a quiz master really, but, you know, it seemed like a bit of fun. 4 is showing signs of the bloated nastiness all software is getting infected with. Perhaps. I just worry that at some point we're all going to have to move on to 4. It's kind of like the whole Python thing. They kept Python 2 going for like years and years and years, and then they were like, right, okay, we're stopping this now for good. Same with PHP actually. There's been a lot of software where they've had a legacy version on support, like long-term support, and just giving it patches while building a new version. And PHP is another one. They've had PHP 5, and 5.6 was around for years and years and years, and you could still use it for ages, and then they suddenly said, nah, we're not doing that anymore. You've got to use PHP 7. And there's been other software that's like that as well. Where they don't seem to have the long-term support quite in the same way. Well, maybe it'd be nice to start a new project. I don't know. You know how it is when you dive into an old project they haven't touched in ages, and you're like, what the heck was going on here? Let's change the Twitch thing. There is no game dev, is there? Software and game development. I might get people coming in and trying to mansplain. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Katsu and Rice. Is that going to be the name of our new game? Well, why don't I show you what I've got so far on my quiz game? There's not really much to it, but that might be fun. Just so you can see what I've got, and so I can remind myself how far I got. Yeah, it's pretty quiet, isn't it? 3,000 viewers. That's not what I wanted. It's that one. You'll have, if you've seen the quizzes on YouTube, then this is kind of the program that I made to help with that. And so all I do is run this and then record it and then stick it on YouTube. How would you like to try a quiz, everybody? And I'll explain to you where I want to take this and what sort of functionality I want. To start with, I want to get rid of this flipping anti-aliasing around the text. Any particular choice? Let's do characters 3, so I'll click on that. Got some cool music that I found on Mod Archive, I think. And all it does, it's all automated from this point, you can't do anything. And it just shows you the right answer after the bar's gone down. If you didn't get that, I'm very disappointed. It's Lego. If you don't get this, I'll be very disappointed, because it means you've not watched my videos properly. Wink. Pol Pot. This one's slightly trickier. And that is how these things go, the further on you get. I didn't work out how to change the text colour. I also can't remember which game G is from. Which has given you a bit of a hint. What's G from? Is that, I feel like that's one of the Time Crisis games. Oh, this one's tricky. Who's that? Even I can't remember. No, I can't remember. I know what that is. It's Tekken 3 era, I think, that one. Yep. What about this one? Zikimson should know this one, I think. I feel like Zikimson would know this era. Yeah. All of those are actual character names, by the way. Which one's this now? I think it's... well, it's not me doing the quiz, doesn't matter. Yeah, let's go. Tricky. You would have to know your payday to know that one. You'd have to know your Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story for this one. Funnily enough, this is a really cheeky one because A is the right answer, but B is almost the right answer. This one's really hard. You have to proper know your arcade games for this one. As you might know him as Mr. Driller, but actually he's called Susumu Hari. Again, all those are valid. Oh, I forgot there's two more. This one's so hard. Man, my quizzes are cruel, aren't they? How are you supposed to have a clue of that one if you've never read the manual for Lode Runner? The Legend Returns. I think that's from. And if, yeah, I mean, unless you know your Gallagher, you've got no chance. You were close though, Zakims, and actually no, that's wrong. That should be D. Dear oh dear. Ha! Got the The answer wrong on the last question, and then it shows you the answers at the end. And I think that's it. I don't think it does anything at this point. Yeah, Midori is the green one. Yeah, I got that wrong. That's on me. That. Midori is the. It's like a green bird-shaped thing that something in Galaga splits into. It splits into 3 of them, and then they'll fly down and get you. But that wasn't Midori, that was Zako, and I just got it wrong. The one you answered A for, Zakimson, you were almost right. Wes Reckless is the name of player 2. And actually, I think he was only in the follow-up Lode Runner Online, but, well, I'm sure my research will lead me down that road. An old flame. Well, it's good. It's good the information and facts that you pick up over time, isn't it? Anyway, we'll just we'll come out of that. So that's what it looks like at the moment. So there is a lot that I would like to add, change. Let's have a look at my notes because I have it all written down again in Joplin. Can we go on to this other? Let's go on here. Have the nice chill music in the background. There we are. So, what do my notes say about Lunar Quiz? No notes? I'm certain I've got something written down somewhere. Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any to write some notes. So, what I want to achieve is... I'll just... might as well switch to Joplin and then we can write notes to... Oh, that's already switched. Ha! So, yeah, what I want to achieve is, I guess, general notes, categorize later. So, quiz game. Basic usage, pick a quiz, play the quiz. Mouse or keyboard control. Either click the correct answer, or click the answer, or use keys A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not both? Well, that's I put it like that to say that you can use the mouse or the keyboard exclusively, or you could. I mean, they're both going to be active at any one time, so. You can use either. The question is, if you're playing a quiz game on the PC and the answers are labelled A, B, C, and D, they're quite far apart on the keyboard. Is that okay from a user perspective? Is that satisfactory? Because again, picture my dad playing this. He'd probably use the mouse. Spooge would go with WASD. Ithrani would use numbers. Now that's the way I'm leaning because, again, picture my dad, and he's the target market for this game. I think by the time he's hunted and pecked for the right letter, the question might have passed him by. Now, for my purposes, Kimson would also use numbers, so I'll use keys 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, down, left, right on WASD makes sense to most users. Now that's interesting. Up, down, left, right instead. Have answers in a circle instead of a list. What was I going to say? Yes, so for my purposes, for making videos, you know, all those quiz videos that I've made, I should probably do a few more and sort of have a regular stream of them. But I also don't want to just have a massive list of quizzes in my video feed. So maybe I'll do another one after my next video. But that's beside the point. The point is, for my purposes, I'll just make this smaller as well so you can read it a bit better. I want the questions to be a certain length, because that makes the most sense for... Oh, well that's a bit clearer, isn't it? Because it's a video, so you can't move the questions on. Now, I think for YT purposes, questions need to be fairly quickly paced, and a certain specific length. For gameplay purposes, let's just dismiss that, it was fine. For gameplay purposes, the questions need to be at least twice as long as YT questions. Now, I'll just quickly show you because I'm not actually sure where these are stored. Well, probably in the Godot/retro quiz folder. I have somewhere, yes, here we are. So let's just load up the file for that quiz, because it is, it just looks like this, right? So it's a really simple, file, that will do. Text, well, it's a JSON file, and it's simple text. It's really, really straightforward. My idea eventually is to make a quiz builder within my quiz game, and then you can just put something together and it'll spit out some JSON, and then you can share it with people. And it'll make it so much easier for me to make new quizzes as well. But for now, it's just this, and the images are, well, you can see it's got a specific file name, and the images are in a directory that is that same file name. So I'm sure it would, but people can't read binary. Look, it doesn't need to be hyper efficient, it needs to be usable. Anyway, yeah, the quiz format is really simple. And the thing is with this, it can easily be what's the word I'm looking for? It can easily be changed into different types of quiz. You can see I've got a quiz type here. I've also got the time here. So possibly what I do here is set like a default time, like a standard time. So say, I don't know, 20 seconds per question. And perhaps there's a modifier in the game that says, do you want your questions to be slower? And it can add like another 50% onto the question time, or maybe double it or something. Or even allow the user to set their own question time, but I think that might be a bit too much option. I'm all for options, but I think there's a level, there's a limit, and you don't want too much customization. So something like that. It's just a simple tick box that says, I want my questions to be slower, double the length. Something like that. But yes, I've kind of made this up so that it will work with other types of quiz as well. Something that I haven't accounted for is just pure text quizzes, but that will be as simple as saying something like question who dis. The issue is I've not built a user interface to deal with text quizzes, but I think it'll be really easy to do. Just replace the image with some text. Having text and images, now that's going to be a different kettle of fish. I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that, but I'll have to work something out. It might be that it might be that for the purposes of a playable game, I might just have to rethink the user interface completely and just go with something entirely different that's a bit more malleable. Because I mean, you know, I love pixels, and I do. If I can make it work in 240p, by golly, I will do. But for something like this, it might be better to go a bit high res. Maybe 480p. Who knows? The heady heights of 480p. Anyway, so maybe have a tick box that the user. No, that makes the questions 1.5 times or 2 times as long. Okay. What else? I would like. See, I had all these ideas and I'm stupid that I didn't write them down. I should have done. I thought I'd put them in here, but I guess not. I would like to have some sort of leaderboard and profiles to show how well you've done at each quiz. A cheat code that launches Doom. That'll be pretty funny. There's just an entire copy of like PR Boom or something in there. I bet there is a Godot port of Doom that I can just borrow. I bet you. In fact, I'm going to have a quick look now. Doom Godot. Godot GD extension add-on that allows embedding Doom into your game, thereby making it infinity times better. Dude. Okay, that seems like it'd be possible. It's just Doom. You can make a Doom cube. Just look at this screenshot, man. I'm going to star this repository and then I've got it. Oh yeah, star. It's only got 1 star, that's very poor. Ready? There it is! Oh no! You can see my tabs! Oh dear. I don't think there's anything bad there. Doom Cube cannot hurt you, that's a lie, it can. Okay, well if we can embed Doom into the game, why the hell not? It's only little, it's Doom, it's floppy disk size, I don't think it'll change much about our game. May have to free Doom it. Although if I just stick like Doom shareware. That might be alright. It is for distribution after all. That's the whole point. So if you type idkfa in at the menu, you can play Doom. Leaderboard and profiles to show how well they've done at each quiz and to track progress. Maybe let's just put profiles. Leaderboard. Although, considering there may only be 1 player However, that might be a touch pointless, and I'd also have to maintain it, so whatever. Best scores on each quiz. Shareware era beg for money screen. Always. I like to think that the more games that I make, if like screw it, I'm just gonna show you. Screw it. Look at this. Look at all these. I like the idea of making a series of games that just start Luna, and it's just all these little types of games that I've thought of. And they're all going to be, well, one of my hallmarks for those games was going to be they're all going to be 240p, 4x3. And the second was going to be they're all going to act like shareware games. They're all going to be shareware games. But I think the quiz might be just like free and you can donate or whatever. So shareware beg screen. I mean, oh, and also themes. Different color themes, dark, light mode, and high contrast. Also a few font options, including Comic Sans, because it's chaotic, and also dyslexia. You know something? That Open Dyslexia font, I have done a little bit of research because I want to make a Comic Sans shrine at some point, but let's not get into that. I've done a little research, and supposedly people with dyslexia still prefer Comic Sans to Open Dyslexia. Interesting, that, innit? I can't remember what I was gonna get a. It was gonna be called something like In Defense of Comic Sans or whatever. I think it is surprisingly defensible font. You don't see me using it here though, do you? Maybe it's because I can't change the fonts in Joplin. Colorblind mode. Yeah. Accessibility is really important. In fact, how easy is it, Ithronia, do you know? How easy is it to implement screen reader support in a Godot game? I'm sure they have, but that doesn't mean I can't. Screen reader support? I don't think I'll be able to implement my own screen reader because that seems like a big task, and I'd have to get some sort of voice thing. So if I can anti-epilepsy mode. Well, I don't intend to have flashing lights anyway, so turn off animations. Most of this is just accessibility options. Yeah, I think it would be good if I can hook it into an existing screen reader software. Like, I think the current one is Orca, but there's also one called NVDA. Be good to test out a few different ones. What else? I mean, I want to be, well, let's put that in. Quiz Builder allows you to make your own quizzes. Simple JSON file format with separate directory for images. I've got an idea which might be too difficult to implement and too much work to moderate. But do you think there's scope to, say, have some sort of store in the game of available quizzes? Which you could maybe say something like anything on itch that's tagged #LunarQuizPack or whatever. Preview that and allow you to download it. It seems like it's really open for abuse, that, so I don't know if that's a goer. I wonder if instead there's going to have to be some level of curation somewhere if I'm going to have a store. And that'll be another thing for me to manage. So if somehow this blows up in a massive way, then I would have my work cut out for me, I think. If people are making quizzes, I'd have to like spend an hour a day adding quizzes to some sort of central repository. So yeah, I just don't know if that's feasible, really. I think just having a quiz builder in the first place makes it a quiz platform. Do you think... Again, we might be getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, but we're just spitballing at the moment. Stardew music, of course. Do you think it's viable for somebody in the quiz builder to then export the quiz just as is, a standalone playable quiz, and then like have it available in the browser or whatever? Then again, is that too much? Is that ever going to get used? I think that's probably pointless, isn't it? Might be able to moderate via a voting system, perhaps. Again, that seems like a lot of work. No, I mean, so I've got my quiz. We've got Lunar Quiz, the game Lunar Quiz, and that is a game, and you can play different quizzes within Lunar Quiz, and you can also access the quiz builder. What I'm thinking is that if you make your own custom quiz, could you then export just that quiz? So not the rest of the game, just the quiz on its own, to play as is. Not importing it into the game itself. I'm not really explaining myself very well. So I know what I want initially is for people to be able to build a quiz, export it, and then you can easily import it into Lunar Quiz. I'm sure you could, even with the images. All the images are 3x3 GIFs with a palette of 2 colours. maybe 16x16 then. What? Yeah, I think that being able to export a standalone quiz might be a bit too... Again, too many options. Seems a touch unnecessary. Maybe I'll just leave it as something you can import, and you have to just get Lunar Quiz to play it. But that's not to say I couldn't make a web version and say, if you've got any quizzes downloaded, you can just import and play them. What I could do with doing really is having things like, what do I need for, what's my MVP here? I guess this is my MVP. with that in mind, then it might well be worth just like starting again, and building a whole new project out. Or just like saving as on this one and taking it a bit further. Because if I'm going to potentially be making changes to the user interface, then it's just going to be a whole new thing. The basic thing is already there, yeah. I kind of want this version to stay as it is, and then I can continue making videos with it. So it might be a case of just putting together a new one and just building off that. Okay. So we've got a kernel of an idea here. So close that. And of course the project is called Broken Circus Quiz, so I kind of need to, you know, rename it. Lunar Quiz. Continue. Scan. Rename that to Lunar Quiz. Alright. And there we are. Right. So, can I remember? I mean, I have probably not coded this very efficiently at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to like get rid of the fluff. Let's just cut this down to its absolute basics for the moment. So get rid of the background, get rid of the viewports and stuff, and just have the thing as is, you know, full res, just whatever. Simple is best. Like, we need to make it ugly. A friend of mine, guy called Voxel, makes a lot of NES games actually. He said that if you're gonna make a game, you need to make your prototype as ugly as possible. Just make it hideous, and then you're compelled to work on the gameplay because you're focusing on just making it ugly. If that makes sense. He put it a lot better than I have. So. Background colour, we'll make that 1920 by 1080, there we are. Everything else, I mean, it's just the background that was on the viewport, the rest of it is just as it is, I think. So, I think, actually, everything is in this one scene, and I kind of made that work. So you can see we've got question image and spinner image. We've got quiz base, which is... Actually, no, I think most things are in here. Can I open... Oh. I've forgotten how to use this damn software. Scenes. So, quiz base. That's where all my code is. So yes, that's what quiz base looks like by default. Probably change some of these graphics so that again they're a bit simpler, because the thing, what part of the problem is, where are we? So question squares, art. So you see we've got quiz doodle squares and we've got quiz doodle squares A, B, C and D. Now, slightly inefficient, you will probably agree. I'm not especially proud of how I've done this because again it's kind of crap. But because of the way I've done this doodle thing, it was the only way I could think to do it. So you can see the graphic over here. Can I open it in like a... I can't open it big, can I, and show you the full thing? Maybe I can, I don't know. Either way, you can see that that is just the entire quiz layout in one image. Also, yes, Spooge, I understand your pain. They make you feel like a jerk, even though it's their fault. Even worse when they do it on the stairs. Or when they make you spill your tea. That's terrible. I just realised I'd completely forgotten to drink this entire second half. So, yes, what I was saying is that the question layout is very, very rigid. You can make those images atlases and switch the UVs rather than the images. You see, I'm sure that makes sense, but I don't know how to do that. So, yeah, it's bad all round, and I think I just need to find a nicer way of doing a good quiz user interface. Not that I dislike the doodle style, I think it's cute, but again, let's make it really bare bones, stripped back, basic for now. I guess the fonts, well, whatever. The fonts can stay the same for now, just because I can't be bothered changing them right now. Again, everything's kind of low res on this. So let's just have a look at the code here. So I was quite happy with the code, I think. I'm sure there's probably more efficient ways of doing it. It's when you could probably do this whole thing in 5 lines, but whatever, man. Also, it's a now I'm looking at it, it's a little bit PowerShell, this scripting language. It's probably a bit more something else, and PowerShell is a bit more something else, and they're both kind of based on that, but somehow there are parallels here with PowerShell. Very Python, said Ithronia. Never got into Python. Then again, I never really tried. It's just there was something about Python that really put me off. I can't remember what it was now. It might have been tab spaces roles. It might have been that. I have to say I did get a bit confused at the for loops and the ifs in this, because it says colon rather than having a nice curly brace, and it's all in there. The underscores, oh my god, the underscores, yeah. Yeah. Time has still not been set in JSON using default. Yeah. So it checks twice. It's like, does it have a time? Does it have a time now? I guess, yeah. Well, it's a different function, isn't it? So it makes sense. Although, again, there's probably somewhere I can check sooner. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be endlessly efficient. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good and all that. Yeah, we've got something that says get rid of the quiz rules and show the quiz itself. Yeah, this all made sense to me. There is no door. I also had somewhere I had quite a few listeners. Yeah, it was post question timer. I had some of these on post question timer timeout. It's a lot of this is going to be trying to comb through what I've done. It's a good thing I commented this. Ooh. Yeah, look, here we are. So this is something that I was going to do. So let's add that to Joplin. Proper answers display at the end, similar to quizzes. Quizzes. Is it? I can never remember if there's two Z's are there or there. I also, what was the purpose of... I know what the purpose of that was. Yeah. This was a right faff to get right. Because... Yeah, I think I ended up solving it with the table. This BB code business. It took me forever, man. So, at the end of the quiz, it shows you all of the answers to the questions. It's very basic. It doesn't really show you very much. But again, it solved, it did the job. And I was trying to do it this way and say, right, what's the longest answer, and set all of the lines to the same length as this answer and just pad it out. I couldn't get that to work for whatever reason. But then I found out that you can do it with BB code instead and just do a table. There was something to that though. There was some limitation. I mean, the BB code business just isn't very well documented anyway. So it's quite difficult to do what you need to do with it, and so it's making the best of an overall quite bad situation. But it did do the trick. Now, I think that we want something that's going to be scrollable, and we'll show you what answers you got correct and what answers you got wrong. Should we show the correct answers as well? Should we give the option? Show which answers we got right and wrong. Give the option to show the correct answer, but don't show it by default. This is my thought. Also, do you want to know a fun fact? If I'm remembering correctly, this font that I'm using here is called Fantastic Sans Mono. It's great. It's my favourite monospace code font because it's got that sort of handwritten comic-ish style. It is actually based on a font called Comic Code, which is based on a font called it's based on a font called Comic Mono, which is based on a font called Comic Sans, made by somebody called Shannon, which was based on Comic Sans. So this is the ultimate Comic Sans font, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's really great. I love it. It's so readable. Anyway. Yeah, we're probably going to strip out quite a bit of this, actually, if I'm going to be changing the layout, particularly of the answers. Some more detailed lineage in the royal family. Look, it's fonts, you know? Yeah, we're probably going to be stripping quite a bit of this out. Maybe the, maybe even do something different with the timer. I based that on Drawful 2. So it's... Oh, no, actually, no, I didn't. I based it on WarioWare. What am I on about? But, I mean, Drawful 2 does the same thing. The timer is a bar at the bottom, except it's not a bar, it's a cat's paw. With a pencil. So, well, maybe it doesn't matter for now. Maybe something will do. I've just got the bar going along the bottom of the screen, and it will do for now. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as it works. So, what we need to do is have separate buttons for each answer and say, hey, let's click the answer, and then if it's right, then yeah, Ding dong, we got it. We've obviously got to now. Spooge. I had the task at work because well, there's need for it at my workplace. I had the task of deploying Unreal 5 using Intune. Microsoft Intune, the mobile device manager software. I thought, you know, this seems like... I feel like I've got a solution here. So by default, you have to use the Epic Games Launcher to use the Unreal Engine. Epic Games Launcher doesn't have any sort of enterprise options. You can't lock it down at all. It's just this free-for-all, so anybody using it could log into their Epic Game account and play Fortnite. Not what we want. Not what we want. Right? So I found out that you can build Unreal Engine from source. And seemingly bypass the Epic Launcher. Great, I thought. So I built it from source. And you try and launch it and it launches the Epic Game Launcher. It's so dumb. And it's really not helpful. And also, yeah, even since Unreal 3 days, I've not come across a good Unreal Engine game. I mean, there's probably... I think, actually, no, that's a lie. Hat in Time is Unreal Engine. But I can't think of many Unreal Engine games that I've not thought, oh, it's an Unreal Engine game. And it's got that Unreal ick. There's something about it. It feels like an Unreal Engine game. The last... probably the last good Unreal Engine game was probably Unreal Tournament 3. I'm fed up of saying Unreal now. That was actually a pretty good game. But yeah, it's not a nice engine. And you know what else? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to download that copy of Godot that I cancelled earlier. Let's just try and find it. So Godot Engine. Let's see. Download latest. Let's just grab the latest version. Right, so the Godot engine, editor, and all the stuff that you need to make a playable game, the zip file that you download is 47.9 megabytes, and that's for the latest one that Ithronia says is all bloaty. 47.9 megabytes. Godot 3, 33.2 megabytes. Perfectly usable. It's got everything you need, 2D and 3D, all of the things. How big do you think Unreal Engine is? I will just say, I think off the top of my head, Unity, which is still bad, really, really bad. We hate Unity. Well, maybe not hate, but yeah, it's a ball ache, Unity. Off the top of my head, that's 24 gigabytes. Why? Who knows? 24 gigabytes, friends. Unreal Engine. And this is building it from the source, so it's, in theory, as clean as possible. It's a marvel of modern coding, it's just 51 bytes. I wish. It's 60 gigabytes. 60 stinking gigabytes, and that's just for a flipping engine. And it's such a sick joke. How am I supposed to deploy that to a network? Just as a point of comparison, there is the source code for the original Unreal Engine is on GitHub. It's the Unreal Tournament version from 1998. Untouched, as far as I can tell. Can we find out how big it is? Probably not. I'm curious. It's such a joke, isn't it? And I dread to think how big Unreal 6 will be. That's going to be like 500 gigabytes. The original Unreal Engine was 53 megabytes. Basically, Spooge, it's all crap. And there's a reason why the Xbox can only have one game on its hard drive at any one time. I shake my fist. Anyway, where were we? I don't really know where to even start with this. Well, we know that the quiz works as it is. So does it still work now that I've faffed with the layout? Short answer, no. I think I've completely destroyed it. In fact, somehow it's just completely broken. Well, that's a good start. B-Top, help me. Which one do I need? Oh yeah, I don't envy that job. I also don't know which process I need to kill here. More. Close. 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 Yeah, the game just doesn't work when I run it from here. I'll stop it from here. Does that work? Oh yeah, that works. That's not good. What does the debugger say? The function load current scene returns a value, but the value is never used. Oh. Right, yeah, that'll be why. Because I had to faff around. I had to proper faff around, like digging into the viewport. Just do that. Create a more responsive menu system with pagination. Pagination. Add that to my notes. Hold on. This code is interesting, says Ithronia. That's not good. Interesting in what ways? Interesting good or interesting weird? Script kiddie. Yeah, I've got about that level of skill. Info about the quiz. Questions, approx time. Times played. It's very hack, isn't it? It's just trying to get the scaling to work. Oh yeah, no, the menu. This was just positioning menu items and saying, right, put that one there, and then see where that is, and then put the one next to it, or a bit below it. I've got padding. Yeah, you know, it's perfect. It works. It works great. Getting the scale factor from the viewport container. You know, it's all totally above board. Totally above board. But I know that scale factor's not... Oh. Now that I've got rid of the viewport, we might be in trouble here. Uh-huh. Actually, no, all I need to do is comment out the scale factor bit. I think the rest of it is fine. The identifier padding is... oh, yeah. Are we good? Is that going to work, or is that going to crash? Yay! I do wonder if completely starting again might have been the better idea, because I've made all this with the assumption that I'm doing some sort of scaling on it, and that may not have been the best approach. Especially since now I think about it, it would have been better just to scale all the graphics up to whatever the screen size is, and just have like an integer scaler on the graphics themselves. Maintaining all code base is a good skill. You're absolutely right, yeah. It's just trying to unpick what I've done. And I know what I've done, but it's reminding myself how to go back and undo what I've done and do it in a way that makes sense. So instead of doing viewport container, I'll probably do quiz main, wouldn't I? This is on... so, yeah, that's the quiz main script, so... does that even have a size? No, it doesn't, does it? Is there a way to do the size of this, like just the standard screen size? That's what the help is for. Oh, it would be. What have I done? Get viewport size. Ah, that might do it, yeah. Turns the node's viewport. Yeah, that might do it. I'll just get the parent scene size. Can I just do that? Get viewport rect. I think that's what I want, isn't it? OS window size could do that as well. What I'm doing, so what this is doing is, well, so the menu as it is, let's just see if this runs now. Yeah, so that, I mean, that's completely broken. Can I just quickly show you that? I should show you it in the other version of the program that makes a bit more sense. But, you know, we've got it now. So, what this is doing, if hang on, let's this will make sense, I promise. So close that. If I do that like by 64, that might make a bit more sense. Okay. No, it doesn't. It needs to be a lot bigger. Pick a number out of the air, 256. Why is it not moving at all? Oh, it's because I'm dividing and not... You might want a grid container. I might. Yeah, that sounds like the thing I want. Okay. Okay, I'm going in the right direction. So, item size times 1.5. I think that will do it. Right. Yeah, so what it's doing is it's just going all the way across and just saying, right, this thing's here. Where is this? And we just need to add another thing to the right of that. And then it says if it gets to... if it's going to be going off the screen... oh my goodness. We'll get... times 4. If it's going to be going off the screen, the top left is going to be going off the screen. As you can see, this is hitting the edge. Then put it on the next line. Grid container, you say? That sounds like it might be a much more efficient approach. But this is not really what I want the main menu to look like. This is just my temporary one that I used so I could launch the quizzes for my videos. So, what I want, I mean, I could probably still use some sort of grid. I think what I'm kind of picturing is this. So, just do another window capture. What kind of window capture is this? I don't know. Might be X composite. Oh, that's my wallpaper. Good. Thanks. That's what I want. Yeah. So what I'm kind of picturing is you've got your quiz, and well, the main menu is gonna have menu big exclamation mark. So you're gonna have like some buttons here. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have we're gonna have a big button right here that says play now, and that will take you to it will take you to a random quiz that you haven't yet played, or if there are no quizzes you haven't played, it'll do a quiz that you have played but have got wrong answers on. And if there don't exist any of those, then it'll just play a random quiz. So I think that would be a good addition. Play now, and then we can do like quiz list, and we can do it's not going to be called quiz list because that's boring. Quiz builder. My handwriting is delightful. And then we'll have options and quit. And then over here it's going to say your profile stuff. So this is the standard menu. So it's going to be like soup, played 500 quizzes, and then we can have played, and we can have accuracy 70%. Favorite quiz, cheese quiz, something like that. So you've got your profile information there, and then the menu is there, and then you got play now. So that's going to be just the main menu, right? That's what I have in mind. Possibly should put this somewhere more permanent, but you know, it's fine. I've got it recorded forever. It's all good. So the quiz menu, the quiz list, it's going to be like quizzes, quiz list. And then it's going to have, again, the list over here. The list. And it's going to have a little preview image and say cheese quiz. And you can click on it. And it will come up over here and it'll say cheese. Questions 12, and it'll say time 30. I don't know what information would be valuable to have, and maybe it'd be better just to have the information, like if you make it longer, then have the information in the actual quiz button there. But again, as long as we get something, that's all we need at the moment. So that's what I have in mind. So that's not going to be the menu. The menu is going to be something else. So I think we should have maybe try and do some sort of grid container. How do we do that then? Let's have a think. Well, add a child node, I suppose. Grid. I feel like I tried to use a grid at some point and I couldn't work out how it was supposed to work. But anyway, let's put our menu there. So that's our main menu. We've got one column. How do we set rows? That's just the rectangle, so if it's just a line of buttons, VBox container will work. Okay, I'll do that. I'm taking your advice because I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, I have some idea of what I'm doing, but not really very much. VBox container. Ah! The picture makes it look a bit more sensible. Ah! No, I don't want to move that. I wish to... I'm sure there was a lock option. Well, maybe I'm misremembering. Oh, was it that? Might have been that, yeah. There we go. Got it. So... Right. VBox container is there. And for the purposes of... oh, separation, that might be good to have. For the purposes of if you're going to have dynamic window sizes, anchors are required. Okay. Yes. I was going to just do... I don't really know how themes work either. I'm sure they will be very useful. Setting positions with anchors makes them relative to the window size. I see. So, where is the anchor? Is it? No, it's not it. Yeah, there's a similar concept in Affinity. Not Affinity, DaVinci. Ah, okay. Right. See, that's something that I need to learn properly, is how to do things responsively. Because, yeah, I don't really know how you're supposed to do that. Because, you see, that doesn't actually move it at all. But well, let's focus on doing something with this. Although we've only got 4 minutes left, so I don't really know how much we can do. How does this work then? VBox container. Help me. It's a vertical box container. Well. Arranges child controls vertically or horizontally and rearranges the controls automatically when the minimum size changes. Right. So, I guess then what we need is, I guess a few more. I mean, is there a button? There is. Excellent. Menu button. Brings a pop-up menu. Okay, we don't want that. That's selectable options, so we just want plain old button. That'll do. That'll do. The text is going to be quiz list. Okay. We've got icons, that's good. Oh dear, it's a bit wee. I guess that's why you need themes. Yeah, the theme overrides, I use them quite a bit because I couldn't really work out how the themes worked. But well, we've got I think we've got some fonts in here, so let's use this one. But I want it to be bigger. Font settings. Let's make it 64. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So we've got our crappy button. Okay. Duplicate. Need our menu list. Menu item quiz list. Menu item. What were my other items? Oh, I've already forgotten. Quiz builder. And that's gonna say quiz builder. I would probably need to make a specific theme that I can come back to and theme all these the same. It is making more sense now. But for now, again, just we get it working first and then we figure out making it look nice. Menu item. Settings. They don't allow fine control of their elements. And then we want menu item. Because at the moment, you can't even quit the game without Alt F4ing it. Well, I'll call it exit, and then it's not yet another queue. I know, but this is great for lazy people like me, Sonia. Yeah, so we've got the world's crappiest menu, yeah. And then I suppose I suspect that it might be best to have my my profile bit as a separate scene and then just bring that in, and then that can be all positioned where I like it, and it can just be showing that, bam. But I could be wrong. That just seems like I don't know, that would be something that I would do, like if I was making something in Affinity Publisher and I was wanting to embed a design onto a page, like with my sticker album. I did a lot of designs in that in Affinity Designer and then just embedded them onto Publisher because it made more sense doing it that way. But you know, I could be entirely wrong, and it could be the worst possible way of doing it. Let's have a bit more separation between this lot. There we go. Cool. We've got our buttons. Great. So I guess I want another one. Menu quiz list. And we want nothing in this one because that'll get automatically populated, won't it, with the code? And then we're going to call it a stream. But maybe I'll come back to this. Maybe this can be our Mondays for a bit, and we can make Lunar Quiz a reality. That might be fun. So I'll save that. I think we can make this work. I'm feeling confident. It feels. Simmons is here. Great. Well. Better stick around for the raid then, Simmons. Also, hi, good evening. It is fun. I do like learning. Learning is my favourite. I like study. The latest you could possibly be. There's not really many people on. I mean, Ed Trots is on. It's great. Let's raid Ed Trots. Giant keyboards. Oh, he's playing GeoGuessr. Cool. Well, let's go raid friend Ed Trots. He's got a flat cap on. Yeah, let's go do that. And yeah, well, I am happy to have you in my company, Esronia, to help me on this game dev journey. Eventually, we should make the sequel to Soup and get that done as well, because I've been sitting on that for years. Really, I want to finish it off in Game Maker Studio because it's like 90% there. I just need to make some more levels, but kind of want to do it in Godot to learn it and do a nice platformer, and I could probably do it better. So, you know, it's fine. Plenty of time to think about it. Anyway, let's go do a raid. So, yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking around for Indiana Jones as well. That was a bit of a slog, wasn't it? But thank goodness. I mean, it was fun, but kind of glad that it's over now. And yeah, we'll call it there. So, you've all been fabulous. Thank you all so much for coming along. And I'll see you all on Friday for some more Stardew. Thank you, and... Ooh, I'm going to do it with my phone. This is very exciting. I downloaded an app called OBS Blade. It's really, really cool and open source. Thank you, and... It's disconnected. Thank you, and... Good night!